Patch Review! Welcome everybody to yet another wonderful episode of Patch Review. It is Dev Diary 151 2.3.3 Patch Review Beta. Checksum 35D6 for those of you who are keeping count, and you will be able to access this, of course, as always, in your Steam library, as if, if you are on Steam. Click right on Stellaris Betas tab and select the version that you want. In this particular case, that would be the temporary beta version. Anyway, there's some known issues with this particular patch. Apparently, AI empires do not expand nearly as fast. Thank the gods when it comes to that. The whole expansion of robots is rather curious, considering how fast they can expand in general due to the habitability bonus that they have. We have added a relic stealing feature, more about that soon, and while caravanneers are no longer getting stuck, which they very frequently did in the 2.3 patch in general, they're now just going to the same location every single time, therefore they do not roam. Anyway, there are some general highlights, some Admiral XP. Admiral's XP is being changed and how they actually get it. They actually get XP from patrolling now, as well as combat, as well as, getting max piracy value and all of that jazz. Archaeological sites have been overhauled slightly. They get a new, they're more unique, they are more fun, and in some case stronger, specifically the Grand Herald. The Grand Herald, as it is in the 2.3.3 patch, it is significantly rarer, which is something that I suggested in the patch as well, and on top of that, it's significantly more difficult, and you can find a weakened version of the Grand Herald, which you can then upgrade into a more improved version, something that you can also do with the Dreadnought from Leviathans, of course. But with all of this minor housekeeping out of the way, let's dive right in into the actual patch notes. Everybody's always super excited about these, so let's see what we got here. Ancient Relics Story Pack features a number of archaeological sites have been overhauled to give more interesting rewards for completion, with new techs, empire modifiers, and ethics-based outcomes. Actually, very desperately needed. Especially the ethics-based outcomes and getting different things, whether or not you're materialist or spiritualist or authoritarian, etc. New technologies, always good. Getting new techs is always fresh, especially if they only come from ancient relics. And it kind of, it keeps them nice and fresh and making sure that you can get cool stuff out of it you can't really get anywhere else. General updated localization for all languages. For my Mandarin-speaking viewers, congratulations, your localization has been updated. So in the past, for those of you who have been playing around with the precursor system, and obviously you most likely have if you're playing the game on the regular, the precursors sometimes have the tendency to spawn nowhere near your empire, generally within the space of a neighbor. This is no longer the case. It will always spawn in a system that is connected to something you own. You're just gonna be rather careful when it comes to balkanization and enclaves and stuff like that. But overall, you will always have access to those precursor systems without having to bash your way into enemy territory. That means that all your efforts are actually good. More archaeological sites will now grant minor artifacts. This is actually great because, especially the minor artifact system, I felt was a little bit unused. Unless you had the rubricator, you would never have enough minor artifacts to actually make good use out of it. So that's now been boosted. Gironi chain grants psionic tech for those non-gestalt. So if you're a materialist and you're having difficulty getting psionic theory, getting Gironi is good. That gives you, I believe, a 15%. It gives you a 50% influence bonus. Not an influence bonus. What am I thinking of here? The tradition system, obviously. The Surveyor Relic, and this is a fascinating change right here, and I really like it. Surveyor Relic, which only spawns if you kill the rogue mining drone operation, which sometimes very rarely spawns into space. You will now get the chance to find multiple deposits during its activation time. So instead of just getting one, you will get multiple ones. And on top of that, it has been boosted to give a new deposit every 5 years rather than every 10 years. And that will make the Surveyor significantly more powerful, especially for those empires that are playing in the tall category. On small galaxies where there's not that many resources available to everybody, the Surveyor Relic is going to be significantly more attractive. Adjusted the rate which admirals gain XP when patrolling, when in combat. So admirals gain XP and traits based on what they're doing, if they're patrolling, if they're defending, if they're attacking, if they're moving, if they are getting out of combat. All of that stuff has been completely changed, and what kind of bonuses you get is obviously specific as well. So that's not been changed. Daily patrolling XP is now based on the max piracy in the system rather than the current piracy. So your admirals will get XP faster in general. So max piracy rather than current piracy. So if you keep on patrolling, your admirals will just get better quicker. So there's a new incentive for you to actually figure out which places have max piracy and then move your admirals there where you need to, because a better admiral means better firepower, it means better mobility, etc. Disengaged ships now also give XP, and they have their own define, which is leader _ admiral. For combat ship designates conversion. So for ships that disengage, you will actually get XP for it. And I would assume this is for the attacking side. The side that wins gets XP from the ships that have disengaged on the enemy side. So that makes sense. Zero is slightly more common. You no longer have to dig through it like a needle in a haystack, so that is nice. Zero, it's been very frequent for me that I'm playing materialist, and it's basically everywhere, and then I'm playing very rarely as a spiritualist, and it is nowhere to be found, so this is kind of nice. Zero was already the rarest resource to find. Marketplace of Ideas trade policy unity per trade value has increased. Oh, okay. So it has almost 100% boost. It's a little bit less than that. But Marketplace of Ideas, which is a trade policy, in the policy menu, trade value increase. So basically it means more money. So for those of you who are running Megacorp or any of those types of empires, getting a lot more money now if you're running Marketplace of Ideas, and it applies to anybody really. The Grand Herald site is now less common, thank God. When the Grand Herald is found, it may be damaged to some degree, and there's a special project to restore it to full power. As we discussed earlier, very similar to how the system works with the Ancient Dreadnought. Finishing Arc site may yield technology research options or boosts. Okay, so archaeological sites getting new research options or boosts is rather nice. Lower the chance of archaeological sites being discovered when planets are surveyed. Interesting. So archaeological sites in general will just be rarer. Okay, so they will no longer be all over the place, which means that they will spawn less regular, which makes them more unique and more interesting. Non-genocidal Gestalt empires may now seize the Galatron for those who would withhold access to its glory. So everybody that is not a fanatic purifier or a devourer or a exterminator and is still, thinking on the same brainwaves as everybody else can now get the Galatron as well. So good luck for those of you who are playing on Iron Man and get the Galatron, etc. Galatron itself is actually quite good. Some UI stuff. Oh, this is of course important. Added multiplayer DLC ownership icon for Ancient Relics. Why this has not been added in the base version of Ancient Relics is completely a mystery to me. But apparently it's now here. Fixed line break in Zerone. Oh, okay, that's cool. A line break. Fixed display army recruitment. It's just UI stuff. Whatever. AI. Oh, this is always my favorite part of any sort of patch notes. Fixed so that AI uses their idle science ships to assist research rather than just drawing salaries and doing nothing like typical freeloading intelligentsia. So yeah, apparently the AI was not using assist research. If it had additional science ships sitting around, they would just sit there and just cost money and upkeep in general. AI empires will finish tradition trees before starting new ones. Actually, pretty good. It does mean that they just won't have giant clusters of tradition trees sitting around. Especially, it's kind of important, say, if one empire goes for, say, the discovery tradition, they will just get this discovery instead of some of the other things. So, more guided performance for AI empires. Change the AI weight for consecration decisions, so that is actually used. Consecration is a feature for the spiritualist empire so that they can take planets and turn them into consecrated worlds, which gives you a bonus to resources. AI will now build city districts on planets if needed, even if not many pops live there. Okay, so that's probably have to do with amenities and any sort of jobs that come out of that one. AI no longer juggles leaders back and forth, and also make sure that there's always at least one leader assigned to a ship. What? At least one leader assigned to a ship. So that means that the economy for the AI will be a little bit awkward, because they will always assign an admiral or a scientist to a fleet. And I can see how this would be a problem with admirals, especially when the AI has tiny fleets flying around, and that could potentially massively impact our economy. But we'll see. Fix the AI declaring war on empires they can't reach, or empires on the other side of the galaxy. Hey, you over there. Hey, go screw yourself. I'll cut you. I'll swear in my mum. And then declares war, and they can't actually get to them. So, yeah. AI no longer needlessly upgrade star bases if they still have unused modules or building slots. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Removed arbitrary pop requirements for research buildings. Also capped holo theaters to 1 per planet. Okay, so apparently AI was spamming holo theaters on all planets. So that's an amenities thing. So great. There's a bunch of modding stuff. Yes. Added steel relic, target country relic, all random relic name effect. So apparently there is now the ability of stealing relics from other countries. And that right there is actually kind of cool. That is something that I would like. Replaced hard texture limit with hybrid array. Okay, that's nice. Added minimum jumps, maximum jumps parameter to a spawn system command for better control of what, where, and how a world spawn system appears. Okay, so basically, if you have a random world that you've generated in a mod, there's a modifier now that says, hey, it will only spawn this many worlds away. So that makes life easily. Especially like Xvon Labs, that was a problem in the past where it would just spawn like 20 jumps away, and this has now been fixed. Add anomaly effect now adds the anomaly to the scope country instead of the first country to survey the planet. Okay. Stability! Fix the freeze when edit trade routes on a system you stole. Okay. Fix the crash when using Mature Galaxy in Observer mode. I have noticed that myself as well. I tried Mature Galaxy several times as well as Advanced Galaxy. Kept on crashing, so I didn't do it. Bug fixes. Oh boy. It's not that big this time around. Oh, that's good. Colony optimization has now a 3-day cooldown after building. Completes in order for recent completed construction to take effect. Increased weighting of favored jobs so they're now properly prioritized. Making the logic for buy and sell slaves better. AI is now more likely to buy and sell slaves. Wrote somebody in the 21st century. Fixed automation and not working on planetary capitals or new colonies if they don't change destination. Okay. Conquered habitats will now convert districts that are not permitted to buy the new empire type. So, for instance, if you have any of the biological empires, then sometimes there's districts they don't want, or if you're any of the robots, and it's like, what am I going to do with all this food? Oh, it just gets converted. Fix so that Rogue Servitor AI will no longer just build organic sanctuaries, just organic sanctuaries. Oh no. Oh no. Everybody you know and love is gone. There is only ice cream. Now go and sit in this organic sanctuary, basically. All non-exterminated machine intelligence should now be able to make farming colonies. I think that would be... that's good. Farming in general for robots is actually kind of good in order to float your economy a little bit better, because you can always sell off food as a buffer. In multiplayer only, the first player to discover the Ba'ul of the Zeroni precursor will begin their chain. Others are free to discover other precursors. So if you're playing in multiplayer, everybody can discover a different precursor in general. So that's kind of cool. So you may have Ba'ul or Zeroni or something along those lines, and everybody can discover it. I think in the past it was the problem that multiple players could discover the Ba'ul or Zeroni. So yeah, that doesn't seem to be too effective, because all of a sudden 2 capital will spawn, and that's probably not that great. Fixed overflow issue in AI diplomacy result due to relative strength calculations. Stack overflows, always fun. The result of reverse engineering minor artifacts is now properly randomized. Disabled map ping for finished arc sites. Okay, that's cool. Admiral XP is now based on the total cost of ships in... Oh, interesting. So Admirals get more XP based on the total cost of the ships that they're flying with. Interesting. So you could have a large fleet and an Admiral will get more XP. So if you have like a large fleet that is just patrolling, you could hypothetically just swap them in and out and get god tier Admirals that you can send to war. Fix for old buildings, swapping issue. Secrets of the Arasians will no longer give you machine intelligence, a tech they cannot use. Okay. Change to the archaeology sites and certain events will use the correct GFX files. Fix growth species disappearing after every month. Ship build speed modifiers no longer being applied twice. Are you serious? Oh my god. So ship build modifiers will apply twice? Oh man, how did I know about this? Fix build speed modifier being applied twice as well. You would have just... Man, building stuff is going to take a lot longer now. Fix some tutorial lines, not playing VO. VO for a bald eagle flying out of an explosion with a pistol grasped in his beak did not arrive in time for today. Alas. That'd be kind of cool. Caravaneers roam space once again, instead of sitting in orbit, ringing your doorbell for all eternity with an offer you cannot refuse, and it will always be the same. Deficit modifier is now properly applied. Master builders no longer having effect on habitat size, thank God. So that's finally fixed. Rare resources tech will now be researchable if any planet you own contains an industrial sector deposit. Oh, that's good, because in the past what would happen is you would need to have the resource on a planet and you wouldn't be able to get it, and that means you couldn't synthesize it either. So you would be stuck in space trying to get gas going, and you couldn't because you didn't have access to the base resource to begin with. Primitives living on ring worlds no longer build will no longer build normal districts on them when invaded, enlightened, or if they naturally develop. Spaceflight, because inscrutably we have created a game where apparently such things are possible. Cool, because now they will just build ring world districts, I would hope, and that probably is only applicable to the sanctuary. Maintenance drones again have positive weights for emotion emulators. Oh, that's good. And fix ships no longer go MIA and you can't return because they don't have access. And pre-sapiens can once again be found. Oh, I wonder where they went. Okay, so apparently pre-sapiens haven't been in the game since 2.3. And apparently they were broken. And nobody knew where they were. And apparently it was a bug. What a delight. Well, there you go. There's the patch review for 2.3.3. Hope that you enjoyed it once again. And tell you what, this video has been made possible by the following people.
They've tried to conquer the galaxy. Now let them conquer your heart. From Katsumura Earhart Heavy Industries comes the official Priki plushie. They're soft, lovable, and ready for fun. Available in 5 different colors, including Exterminate Orange and Genocidal Green. The official Priki plushie is the best friend you'll ever have. Take them to school, to your friends, to Citizen Youth Training Camp. But that's not all, kids. They're scented, too. So don't wait. The official Priki plushie is available at your nearest Union commissary. Citizen Tier 4 or higher, some restrictions may apply. Warning, some Priki plushies may be poisonous. Here at Katsumura Earhart Heavy Industries, we pride ourselves on giving Osperanians, Rixians, and yes, even Polenians, a second chance by allowing them to work in our factories. Sure, it's nice not having to pay them, and you won't hear us complain that certain Terran labor laws don't apply, but it was never about the savings or the 40-hour shifts. The truth is, we care. That's why it breaks our heart to announce that some of our Xeno workers have taken advantage of the trust we placed in them and sabotaged one of our production lines. If you purchased a Priki plushie toy between May 6, 2298 and January 4, 2309, there's a small chance you may have been exposed to raw, unprocessed Pytherian dust. If you or a loved one contracted Methuselah syndrome, bonitis, pentapox, hypermalaria, a cordyceps brain infection, grayscale, or the Andromeda strain during that time, you may be entitled to a financial settlement. For more information, contact your local Union Health facility. In the meantime, let's show these Xenos that we're not afraid. While those responsible will undoubtedly suffer for their crimes, buying even more Preaky Plushy toys is a message of Terran resilience more powerful than any bullet.
Yes, the GTU. Make sure you go and download that particular mod. It's made by the Templin Institute. The link is down below. Do go and enjoy it. It's very much for role play only, and I'm sure you will enjoy it as much as I have watching their series on the Greater Terran Union. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching, and, well, see you next time.